Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, first of all, to our studio audience for coming out. Yes! To our That Awkward Moment fan event. And thank you so much to everyone watching live on Yahoo Movies from across the country. We're super excited to have you all here. It's going to be a great night with the cast. Now, for those of you who haven't yet seen the trailer, it's about three best friends who find themselves where pretty much all of us have been at one point in our lives or another, at that confusing moment in every dating relationship when you have to decide, so where is this going? I know we've all been there, okay? Now, if you haven't actually watched the Red Band trailer by now, you can find it on Yahoo Movies. We're only 3 months away from the premiere of the film. It comes out January 31st. It sounds far, but it's going to be coming up soon, so get excited. I know everyone here is. We've had a ton of online fan questions that were submitted using the hashtag #AwkwardMomentMovie, and I know we have a lot from our studio audience to get to tonight as well. And throughout the night, I just want to encourage all of you to take photos, tweet, Instagram, do all that social media stuff. I got my iPad here, so I might take a few photos too. Just use hashtag #AwkwardMomentMovie. All right, so let's get into it. Please welcome the people you guys definitely want to hear from: Zac Efron, Miles Teller, and Michael B. Jordan. Woo! Wow. Zach, Miles, and Michael.
What's up?
What's up?
You guys are very attractive.
What's
Very, very attractive men. Right? Seriously. Are any of you single? Just kidding. I was just joking. I'm not really joking. All right, let's talk about.
Are you single?
You know, we're not here to talk. I don't mix politics.
Oh, is this how it's gonna go? All right. Well, let's talk about the movie, guys. I've got my iPad here. I loved it because girls really get a peek into how guys think, for better or for worse. Tell us what everyone at home can expect.
Well, I think that you're going to see guys who actually are friends in a movie. I think a lot of time you see, a movie with three guys supposed to be best friends, and it just seems very fake. In this movie, we're riffing a lot. We had so much fun filming this. It was me, Mike, and Zach, all single dudes, all up in New York City, and it was just like a playground. We got a really funny script, and then when we're around each other, we're talking guy talk, and then when we meet a certain girl that makes us feel a certain way, then we're a little more sensitive and stuff. So
a little more emotional.
A little more.
There was I think a big part of this for me, and I was around the very first time that we really ever read the script. A big part of the story was kind of to tell this from a guy's perspective, And
you did.
Yeah, we did. But that's not to say that all the other stuff isn't really valuable too. It's just we made an effort to show sort of a romantic comedy in a way that we'd never seen it done before, which is sort of how our lives are to a degree. So we knew a lot about it, and I think we had almost too much fun.
Yep.
Filming. So it was it was good.
Did you all know each other beforehand, or was being cast the first time you'd met?
I was a huge fan of Michael B. Jordan's
I hated
work.
Miles Teller.
His whole from The Wire, Where's Wallace?
I mean, Rabbit Hole, all these other movies and stuff.
I've admired him for a long time. So.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was.
Good things about Miles, so I hated him before I even met him. I just wanted to hate him. I just wanted to not like him. But when I met him, it was like instant chemistry. Same thing with Zach. I've known Zach for a few years through mutual friends, and we finally got a chance to actually work together.
I met you in a parking lot.
It wasn't a parking lot, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, it was. I met you at the premiere for.
No.
Wasn't it? No, we met before that.
Yeah, way before that. That was I'm talking about Rotman.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Rotman.
Yeah, we had some
Ryan
mutual
Rotman.
friends.
Yeah.
Well, the chemistry, guys.
Before the movie, Before the movie, they went on this snow log cabin trip with the director,
That's right.
which I couldn't make it. So literally, I came in, they had already buddied up. They had just literally gone on this crazy cool trip up in the mountains, and we're drinking this nice whiskey with this bearskin rug and all that stuff. So I had to come in. I saw the photos, so I had to come in and kind of offer what I could to the friendship.
We welcomed you with open arms.
It sucks being the odd man out, doesn't it, Miles?
I don't mind it.
He was good.
I don't mind just coming in and then not having to, to take them both at a time.
Pause.
That
Pause
works, that
moment.
works. Now, there's a ton of themes that you guys explore in this film: dating, hooking up, relationships, heartbreak, emotional eating, all pretty much a play-by-play of my early 20s. But the heart of the film is really about that awkward moment, that single moment after a girl or a guy says, "So where is this going?" and asks to take the relationship to the next level. So I have to ask you guys, did you relate to your characters in that sense? Have any of you had the "so" conversation, either in the past or in the recent past?
Sure. I mean, I think until you marry a girl, there's always that conversation.
So, yeah.
Usually somebody feels more than the other person. It's rare for a relationship to meet two people who just care,
The same
about the other person. And it's awkward. It's one of those things, though. I mean, it's real easy to just text a girl and say, this isn't really working out, but I would always say do it in person if you actually
So have you been on the other side of it?
I've never really been broken up with. I like to think it's not because I'm extremely good looking, I'm funny, I'm charismatic, all the stuff that you were going to say.
Yeah, no, I know. It was already there.
What's up?
Please
tip
do
of my
not stroke his ego anymore. He does not need it.
No, but with that being said, then I don't know, because I'm always the first to, break up with them.
Miles has
So everybody comes with baggage,
issues.
especially in your
That's
20s. Everybody always comes with baggage. You're meeting someone who's been, who's been dumped or who's had their heart broken. You're not, someone's always got something going on.
What about you guys? Did you relate to that at all?
I think, everybody at one point or another in their lives is going to encounter that "so" moment, that awkward moment. And it's big. It comes about in a different, usually it can manifest itself in many different ways, but eventually you're going to come to an awkward moment that is sort of the bridge between where you are currently in your relationship and where you end up
Right.
one day. So it's a barrier that kind of has to be, broken down, if you will.
Well, one of my favorite scenes was the first one where the girl's asking about the "so" question. You aren't even sure that you were ever dating her
Yeah.
to begin with,
Yeah.
which is a perfect example of men, ladies. Just word of
First of all,
warning.
it's like all ladies here, so I don't want to get into like this gang up thing. We're not trying to have that kind of a discussion here. We're just here to present and
you
talk
know
about our
what?
movie, which is funny.
It's fantastic.
It's got a lot of heart. Don't judge
It
me.
does. All right, so how about we go to some of the fan questions that were sent online, thanks to you guys, from @BandFanatic on Twitter. Michael, is there anyone dead or alive that you would love to work with?
Dead or alive?
Either, so anyone.
I'm going to say a split between maybe Brittany Murphy and Heath Ledger.
Those are
For
great
sure.
ones.
For sure. I think Heath's like incredible. Like all of his performances, especially the Joker in his last role that he did. I was just totally like in awe of him. I couldn't take my eyes off him like throughout the whole thing. And Brittany Murphy, I just always been a fan ever since like Clueless. I've always been a fan of her.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
See, I know. Yeah, I think those two for sure.
Great. From @Scovia, this one is for Miles. What was one of the most awkward moments on set?
Oh man.
You had to have like one or two. Or 5.
Yeah, just give me a second to think here. So I was really sick one day, so I was pumped full of like steroids and meds, and I felt very like droggy, and I felt fat. Like when you take steroids, your face gets puffy. It's just what happened.
You felt bloated?
I felt bloated, and I knew I was bloated. I was looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, you look bloated. And Tom's like, hey man, Tom's the director, Tom Gormican, writer and director. He was like, today's the day. You got to get like naked on this toilet seat, and that's when I'm planking. And I knew that. I'm like, what does Zach look like? He's like, oh, Zach's full nude. He looks great. I'm like, so that was just, and you're just in this tiny little bathroom, and it's just a bunch of like 40-year-old dudes being like, can you move your leg like up there a little bit? I'm sorry, I feel fat. I'm tired. I don't want to be here, but I know it's a funny moment, so let's just do it.
Men feel bloated too. That's the lesson. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were we had tons of awkward moments. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that is just weird to do at all, let alone filming it. So.
Okay, I feel like you have to extrapolate on that. If there's one in your head that sticks out.
One in my head,
Yeah.
for sure, getting naked on the toilet. I mean, like, what?
But he looks
Wait,
great.
did you actually?
He
Can I ask
looks
this? Did you
great.
actually have to get naked, or is there any sort of device that while you're walking around the crew that it protects you from full frontal accidental Twitter pictures?
I mean, by the time it was there,
Sock.
we just got naked.
Yeah.
There's like a sock thing.
Okay.
That's it.
All
That's all
right.
you got.
It fell off, and
Yep. You're like, okay.
you just cup your hands.
All right. Yeah, I think we've exhausted that one. From Rachel on Twitter, Zach, this one's for you. How was the transition to a comedic movie from dramas you've been doing in the past?
That's an interesting question. I think I've never really thought of it as a transition. You know, it's kind of it's sort of just the natural progression of things, and kind of what I'm able to do to the best of my abilities at that moment. And this one was kind of interesting, though, in terms of a progression. This is my first time as on a producerial level, you know, working. So I was there. I mean, from the first time I read the script with the producers at Treehouse Pictures, you know, and all the way to sort of casting and getting these guys and bonding with them, and sort of just the whole movie. I was really there for it all. So that's interesting for me. That's kind of new, and I really enjoyed that aspect.
Did it make it more stressful, though? Having to wear the... So just so you all know, he produced this movie as well as starred in it. As if he's not talented enough.
Sorry.
You don't work hard enough, Zach.
No, if anything, it made it less stressful, you know, because we were able to kind of cater it to our likes and our wants and needs, and yeah, that was it. I always told myself if I was ever a producer on something, I'd want to make sure that I could do it in a unique way with an opinion and a perspective that perhaps nobody else has, you know, and really be able to lend my character, you know, and my personality to the material. And this just happens to be an area of life, you know, dating and
partying,
girls and
hanging out
and friends that I, you know pretty well. So it was, yeah, it was nice. It was actually refreshing. It was good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Miles, in the film, you have a wingman.
Fantastic. Thank you
What?
so much for
Wait, what?
compliment. What? Oh, you just
Did
said
I-
you love my work.
Oh,
Maybe I'm hearing something. I'm sorry.
Can you turn his mic off?
I mean, this is fantastic. Well, I was just going to offer myself up to you.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
Calm down.
There we go.
I was
go.
going to go somewhere with this, and now I'm
Let's
unsure.
keep going. Don't make
so
it
Miles,
awkward.
that awkward moment. Miles, your character, you have a wing woman friend who actually
Yeah.
becomes more than a friend in the film. I was simply going to say that I'm a very good wing woman. Not that you have trouble getting ladies, clearly.
Sorry, my mind was somewhere else for a second.
I just wanted to know, do you have any good wingman or wingwoman tips? Are you a
I
good
think the best
wingman?
part of being a wingman, well, it depends. If your buddy is already locked in, then you just need to occupy her friend. That's like, literally, if he's like,
Wait,
hey,
what?
man, I'm
Jumping
saying if
on
you're
the
being a
ladies.
wingman, so if my buddy's like, dude, this chick's really hot, I need you to kind of like, you know, she's with a friend though.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the girl just doesn't want to come over by herself. She's going to come over with her friend. What am I going to do? I'm going to be a good friend. I'm going to go like occupy. I'm probably going to dance with her.
Right.
Because I'm a phenomenal dancer.
Right.
So I'm probably going to do that.
Right.
But if it's just like an overall group, if you're going out in a group, and it's not that just one, like, hey, you take her, I'll take, this one. I'll take one for the team is a line guys use sometimes. It's not always like that. Sometimes everyone's getting involved. But what I would say in general, you just need to have a good time. Like there's a couple people in this room I've went out with that are great wingmen. One in particular is a phenomenal one. And it's just, everything's a yes. And it's never like bring the night down. If anything, it's just get caught up in, let's just have a great night. And
Right.
So.
But what about this concept of a wing woman? That's what she was for you, having a girl basically
Yeah.
servicing you as
That's
a woman
great.
versus, does that work?
Yeah, I think girls. Well, yeah, girls
Girls
make
are
other
better.
girls.
Girls are the best women.
Yeah,
ever.
always go out.
Yeah.
Cool. The cooler the guy, the hotter the chicks.